भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरतकुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरतकुमार, योगी राम सूरतकुमार, योगी राम सूरतकुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरतकुमार, योगी राम सूरतकुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरतकुमार, योगी राम सूरतकुमार, योगी राम सूरतकुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरतकुमार, जय Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jai Guru Raya Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jai Guru Raya Rama 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 Ram Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama. Rama 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 Rama. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama. Rama 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 Rama. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, 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 Rama Rama Rama. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Guru Raya, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama. Bhagavan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanam. By the abundant blessings and boundless compassion of our Bhagavan Yogi Ramsuratkumar, who is none other than Shri Rama himself to his devotees, to all of us. We have all been able to sing his powerful name and bring him vibrantly alive out of this murti. And in deep gratitude, we have offered the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. For this is no small grace. Even the thought that we should come here at all is given by him. It's grace. Otherwise, it won't even strike us to come here. And to be able to sit here for 1 hour without moving about restlessly, it's again grace. And to get involved in singing and to feel his vibrant presence is no small grace at all. We have to celebrate this grace. We shall also continue to offer the Seva lotuses, as we call it, for the rest of the day as well. Now, when you look upon our Bhagavan Yogi Ramsuratkumar, as Shri Rama himself, then all the virtues of Shri Rama come to our mind. And believe me, I have had the opportunity to see how Bhagavan stood as Shri Rama. The peace that he exuded, the patience that he showed towards the devotees, and the dharma that he followed ruthlessly, not even sparing himself. His kindness, you mention any virtue of Shri Rama, I could see it in him. And from his first breath to the last breath, it was only the devotees, his father's work. He lived from moment to moment, in utter sacrifice, only to establish dharma and to relieve people of suffering. Wherever he went, whatever he did, there was less suffering and more peace and joy. I had seen the Sannadhi Street house looked like Rama's Darbar. So many times I had felt it, that he would sit there. Of course, he was wearing dirty clothes, no royal fineries, but very dirty and torn clothes. And there was no diadem on his head, only a carelessly thrown green turban, which was almost threadbare. And he was smoking. Yet, he made us feel like we were sitting before an emperor. And it was truly Shriram Darbar, the court of Shri Raja Ram. I remember once two youngsters, very young ones, like Luv and Kush, appearing, standing before the gate. And they were begging with their eyes to be allowed in. But Bhagavan kept quiet. He continued to smoke, completely absorbed in his work. Then they thought up something. They started to sing. They started to sing all those songs on Rama and his glory. It was very much like Luv and Kush standing in the court of Shri Rama, singing the Ramayana. Bhagavan looked up, dropped the cigarette, and started to bless them with such tenderness on his face. And then the gate opened, they walked in, and they stood before him, and they continued their singing. They were so scared, after one song was over, Bhagavan might dismiss them. So, just when he was coming to the last stanza, They would be ready with the next song, so there was no gap at all. Singing one after the other, it was a rain of songs on the glory of Rama, on the name of Rama. Bhagavan's face looked radiant, and the hand that held the cigarette, completely absorbed in Father's work, now raised high in benediction. And there were tears in his eyes. Just imagine the radiant face of Bhagavan with tears in his eyes and hand raised in benediction. And the two twins standing before him, singing endlessly, with no gap at all between one song and the other. It was every bit reenactment of that scene thousands of years before the court of Rama. Words fail me to describe what I was feeling then. Bhagavan displayed such peace, not only at that time, always in Sudama, when he was dealing with devotees or with any problem, there was such peace about him and so much patience. Not one word extra would come out of his mouth. And many, many times he would handle those problems with a smile. And no matter how people abused him, right in his presence, he would not open his mouth. He would continue blessing people. Nothing ever put him off his father's work. Just as Rama reigned his Ramarajya. Now here is a story that shows how we are and how these great ones are. There was a man who was getting angry so quickly with everyone. There was continued irritations. If anybody should say anything, even if there should be a suggestion of abuse, he would flare up. And he would pour out words of fire and abuse. He was fighting with everyone around. There was no peace at all in him, and because of him there was no peace for people around. If he went to the workplace, he would get irritated with something or the other, and he would start fighting. He kept changing his workplace time and again because he could not be in harmony with anybody. He lost his temper so quickly. There was no patience at all, and there was never any smile on his face. And always, he would retaliate, retort with cruel words and retaliate action. So he lost his peace completely and he didn't know what to do. He was very confused also. He could not control himself. And then he came to hear about a great one, a Mahatma, in the next village. He approached him and said, "Swami, this is my condition. I have lost my peace. I do not know how to handle this temper of mine, nor do people around. And there is constant fight and disharmony and enmity. What shall I do?" Then the Mahatma said, "Okay, I will tell you a story. There was a man
who was just like you, all the time shouting at people. He needed an assistant to keep the account for him. He was a very rich man. He needed somebody very badly, but whenever he employed somebody, he would find fault with them very quickly and lose his temper if they made any mistake and shout, and they would run away in 2 days. They could not keep anyone to work for him. He very desperately needed somebody to keep the accounts. But then every time, so many people would come to him, only 2 days, and then they would run away. So the talk went around in the village that he was such a bad man, that nobody should go to work under him. When that was the case, there was one man who accepted the job of the accountant and very bravely walked forward. On the way, he met another man who was just returning, running away from this rich man, saying, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to take up the job of accountant in that rich man's house." "Oh, I tell you, I warn you, don't go there. You will lose your peace of mind altogether. That man is so bad. He's a volcano. You will never know when he would erupt." But the rich man announced that he would give double or triple the salary to anyone who would come forward to accept the job. So this man said, "Oh, don't worry. I think I can manage. I'm getting so much money out of this. So I shall see. I will take a chance, experiment." He walked ahead. The whole village looked at him very pathetically because they knew what was to come. After several months, this man who met him and warned him not to go and take up the job ran into this accountant. The accountant was smiling and he said, "Oh, I'm still continuing there. And what is more, he stopped shouting. Now he gives me only smiles." Now the villagers became very curious. "How did you do this magic?" The accountant said, "I always keep a smile on my lips. And whenever he shouted at me ruthlessly, I would never answer. I never talked back. I just kept quiet. And nor would I pull a long face. I would not sulk. And the next time, when he should see me about some work, I talked to him as though nothing had happened at all. I would talk to him with a smile and respect. So when I practiced this patience and the smile and keeping silent when he shouted and picking up very casually, naturally and with a smile next time when he talked to me, he began to understand that I was different. And slowly, when he shouted, I kept quiet and with great respect. Because I was not talking back, he could not shout anymore. And because I was smiling all the time, he could not help smiling back. So slowly, he began to change. So when the Mahatma finished his story, the devotee who came to him in utter restlessness understood. And then he said, "Swami, I would also practice the smile and patience and silence. Now, I saw Bhagavan beset with all kinds of problems, and sometimes terrible ones. And yet, he never lost his smile, nor patience, nor his silence. He was like a rock, unmoving, and yet all compassion and grace. So let us learn from him what we should do, not losing our precious time in irritation and anger and enmity and fighting. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. We beg you a million times for your immediate divine intervention to change the attitude of the whole world, for that is full of violence today, enmity, so much fighting. More and more wars are coming up. Bhagavan, you are the cosmic controller. We appeal to your grace and abundant love to bring in peace, unity, discipline and control and harmony into the lives of people, so that people will live a dharmic life with remembrance of God's name. We also beg you to stop those violent wars and bring in peace and harmony. Please bless the whole world, every country of the world, so that there will be no thought of enmity in anyone's mind, no thought of war at all. We also beg you to keep under control those violent attacks of vicious diseases and the furies of nature and those devastating accidents. And above all, we beg you, Bhagavan, to uproot all the negativities of the human mind and bless them with patience and smile and silence. We also pray to you to reach out all those people with your grace, for whichever country people belong to, whatever religion they follow, everyone is subjected to this relentless law of karma, which is precise and unsparing. For they all fall into some suffering or the other, and that without help or protection. All because of their past karma. They may not believe in the law of karma, but the law of karma doesn't wait for them to build up hope or faith. But then, above this ruthless law of karma, which is divine justice, there is this costless grace of God. Let's appeal to His compassion and generosity and pray that His grace should reach out to all those people all over the world who have fallen into some terrible suffering or the other, to get some relief. We also pray to you, Bhagavan, to protect all those unselfish people who have been slogging for the welfare of the others from unhealthy, unworthy remarks of criticism and aspersion. We also pray to you to promote the economy of the country and its growth in varied fields of activity, so that India would reach that high status of world teacher to conduct the whole world in the path of dharma. We pray to you in all earnestness and sincerity for ceaseless and joyful chanting of your name and unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings, that we bring them to our mind again and again. Do manana and turn them into Atma Shakti. We beg you, Bhagavan, to bless us all to be only sattvic instruments in your hands and not rakshasic. Please bless our everyday life so that we run it as an offering to you and not be caught by the temptations of Maya. We also seek that ultimate state of being, the state of bliss and peace of yours, the state of pure awareness, empty of thoughts, emotion, only filled with bliss. But then our minds have to be purified. Right now they are clouded by the residual latent tendencies of our past bad karma and worldly desires, because of which there are attacks of wishes, fear, anger, jealousy, vengeance, passion, sorrow, and abuse. So that people often find themselves in deep depression. In spite of all the blessings that we possess already, we compare ourselves with other people and complain about something that we lack in. But Bhagavan, your thunderous and divine declarations that the name of God is a shield against all the sufferings of life. It's a very powerful weapon that could destroy our past sins and prevent us from further sins. We take refuge in your powerful Nama and seek your blessings for early purification. And wherever we live, whatever work falls into our hand, we know it's all your work. We should be able to do it as seva to you, and that joyfully, without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, so that every one of our actions would turn into Atma Shakti. Please bless us all to practice acceptance, patience, and silence against abuse, acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or grief. We know it's coming from your sankalpa, your will, and it's based upon our karmic account. But then, it's because of your will, and whatever comes from you can only be a definite blessing, meant for our spiritual growth, for our greater good, for our closer kinship with you. So let us all learn to look upon every adversity as a definite blessing from God, who is our well-wisher, who would not harm us on any account. The punishments that He gives are because of our past bad karmas. We had given that punishment to somebody, so the experience we have to go through. Yet, if we look upon it as a definite blessing from God, sooner or later it would reveal how it is a blessing, and at the end of the adversity, it would give rise to higher wisdom, which would purify our heart and make it a seat of the divine. Bhagavan, we pray to you to bless us all with patience and gratitude. We also pray for your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek liberation from the vicious cycle of births and deaths, the root cause of which is utter selfishness, the aham. We beg you to uproot it and promote Atma Bhavam, so that we all be blessed with that immortal life, eternal living in merger with you, eternal servitude in surrender to you, you, that eternal supreme entity. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.